Hello guys, welcome to Dr. Priyanka's Biology where we discuss everything from biology to biotechnology. So today I'm here with yet another concept that is operon. Now this particular concept is of utmost importance especially for NEET exams. Now why this is especially important for NEET exams or any competitive exams in any field of biology? Because here there are certain things which are or which can be asked in a very twisted manner. For example, there are certain concepts here involved in this operon, like certain set of genes which needs to be turned on, or sometimes certain things should be turned off. So this turning on and turning off can be asked in a different manner, and that needs to be understood first, because the most important mistake what most of the students do is they try to buy hard this particular topic or the concept. But when the questions are asked in twisted manner, or when they are asked in a different manner, so that time they are lost. So best thing for this particular problem is you understand it, and then this topic will be very easy for you. So I have broken down this particular thing into two parts. First is the basic operon concept, and in the next part we will take up the examples. So today let's get started with this concept that is the operon. So in this operon concept, first let us see what is the definition of this operon. So what does this operon stands for? So operon, here a group of related genes, they start working together, especially in prokaryotes like bacteria. So these genes, they work in a very regulated manner in such a way that there is this DNA is like transcribed together into a single mRNA, allowing for coordinated control of their expression. But these genes are normally physically clustered over the DNA. But while working as an operon, they work together to produce a single mRNA molecule, and there is a lot of control coordination of the expression. This is how it works. So coming to the definition, the formal definition of operon. So, is a genetic unit where a number of genes are under controlled or coordinated regulation of a single promoter. So, that is the definition of an operon. Now, for example, you have a car, a vehicle. So, its tires are important, its doors are important, its gear is important, accelerator, clutch, brake, all these things, steering, everything should work in a coordinated manner. But for that, the entire car is under the control of the engine. If the engine is not working, your other components are of no use. So all these things are under the control of the engine. So this, when the car is working together as a single unit, it is the operon, and your engine is going to be the promoter. So this is the definition of your operon. So now let's see. It has three major components. First one is the structural genes. The structural genes. So these are the genes that is going to actually encode the enzymes or the proteins. Next part is the regulatory genes. There is certain regulation required, right? Either to enhance or promote the production of a certain protein, or promote the expression of a particular gene, or to repress it. So this repressor and inducer, okay, they could be called as the regulatory genes. And the regulatory site, a site where there is going to be regulate binding of regulatory proteins and controlled gene expression. So they are normally cis-acting elements. So let me zoom this image for you. Yes. So if you see here, there are the components of the operon have been highlighted over here. So we have the structural genes, then we have the regulatory genes, and this is the regulatory site. So together, because if you see they are clustered all over, all these genes are clustered all over, but they work together as one, okay, they work together towards the production of this single mRNA, and where they are working in a coordinated manner. Okay. So depending on the type of regulatory proteins, there are two types of operons possible. The first one is called as an inducible operon. So the term inducible, okay, let us understand the term inducible. To induce meaning to allow something to work, okay, or give impetus to something to start functioning. So that is what is meant by inducible. So inducible genes, so the genes which will, when they are on, they will start continuing the gene expression. So that is the role of inducible gene. Now there is a regulatory protein called as a repressor. So from the term repressor, we know repressor is something that is going to suppress, right? So repressor. Now this repressor, what would be the function of repressor? Function of the repressor would be to block, right? Because it is a repressor. So when this repressor protein is in active mode, okay, it is going to block the expression of the genes. Whereas another molecule called as an inducer. Inducer is something that is going to induce production. When it is on, okay, it is going to, this inducer, it is going to block the activity of the repressor. So when the repressor activity is on, is blocked, there will be gene expression. Okay. So repressor, when it is present, it is going to stop the action of the genes. So repressor, when it is on, there will be no gene expression. Whereas when the inducer is present, this inducer is going to block the repressor, and as a result there will be gene expression. So this is what we have to understand, that inducible, when it is inducible, your inducer will be on. So when inducer is on, your repressor will be shut down. So that on and off mechanism needs to be fitted in your mind. So it is inducible, that means it is on. Okay. So moving on to the next part. The second part or the second type of operon is called as a repressible operon. So from the term itself we know that repressible meaning something is stopping. Okay, so when this repressor, that is the regulatory protein repressor, is inactive, there will be gene expression. The same thing what we have seen in inducible, here it is just the opposite. So when we have something called as a co-repressor. So co-repressor along with the repressor, it is going to turn off the gene expression. So repressor, when it is off, there will be gene expression, and your co-repressor along with the repressor, when it starts working together, it is going to activate the repressor. As a result, there will be no gene expression. So these are the two concepts that need to be fitted in the mind. That is what happens in an inducible operon, and what happens in a repressible operon. So inducible operon is normally in off state. Okay. Now why this? Inducible, that means when your inducer is on, it will continue the gene expression. Okay. But just imagine you have a tap, okay, and it is turned on, and your bucket is full. Your bucket is completely filled with it. It is full. It has no longer capacity to take up the water that is running out of the tap. But still, if you keep on continuing, what will happen? It is a wastage of water, wastage of your energy. Everything is waste, right? So rather just put it off and open when the bucket is empty or when water is required. So this is how your inducible operon works. So that means inducible operon is normally in turned off situation. It will be turned on only when it is required. Okay. So your example is lac operon, which we are going to deal separately. And here it is histidine. histidine-inducible operon in E. coli that controls the metabolism of lactose. So that is the lac operon. So lac operon is the inducible operon. So how do we remember? Okay, it is quite confusing. Inducible operon, whether it is lac operon or trip operon. So in the alphabets A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So I and L are more closer. So it is inducible I and L. So remember this. So it is I and L, both these alphabets are moved together, right? So it is inducible operon, example is lac operon. So another one coming to is the repressible operon. Now this repressible operon as compared to inducible operon is normally in on condition. Okay. So when it is on, it is not going to, that thing is not going to work. Okay. Because the example that we have taken was the repressible operon. So if you see here, the repressor is on. Okay. When the repressor is on, there will be no gene expression, but your repressor is off, that means there will be gene expression, right? So this is what we need to remember. So in case of repressible operon, it is always on. So trip operon is the example of repressible operon, and okay, it is involved in synthesis of the tryptophan. So now last part, that is why are these operons important? The first thing, they are efficient gene regulation. So what happens is that if there is some sort of change in the environment, some change in the nutrients for a particular group of bacteria, okay, so these bacteria are going to sense the environmental change, right? And then these operon models, they will quickly turn on or turn off the related genes, and that helps the bacteria to survive. The next is resource conservation. So I gave you the example of a tap. So you need to turn on the tap only when the water is required. Otherwise, if it is kept on, it is waste of resources, right? So same way it occurs over here. So operon allows the turning on and turning off of the gene expression. That is how the bacteria can conserve their energy by producing only what is required. And the last one, it is the foundation of molecular biology. So this operon models, they are very important for understanding the gene regulation. And they have, they have played a wonderful role in the field of molecular biology. So this is what I wanted to tell you all about the operon model, because I do not wish to combine this operon concept and the examples together, because I feel it is better we deal one thing at a time. It will be very easy for you. So a quick, if you go for a quick revision on operon, so firstly we need to know what is an operon, the definition, what are the components of operon, what is the function of each component of the operon, the types of operon. We have seen on the type of regulatory proteins, we have two types of operons, that is the inducible operon and the repressible operon. So what happens in inducible operon? What happens when the repressor is on? Okay, when inducer is on, co-repressor is on, all these things should be noted down properly and understood well. Okay, and then finally, what is the importance of this operon? So this itself can become a short answer for your board exams, okay, where the role of operon is understood or it is expected. So next time we'll come up with the lac operon and the trip operon. So till then, keep studying, like, share, subscribe our channel. And if you have any doubts in biology, say any field of biology, please get in touch with us. So till then, bye-bye and take care.